Today's date is 11 June 2022. My name is Dennis Gill, and I am in Stevens City, Virginia, conducting an interview with Donald Keller. Thank you, sir, for sitting down and talking to us. If you wouldn't mind just telling us, where were you born? Where did you grow up?
Well, I was born in Washington, D.C., but only there for a short time. My father worked at the Wilton Lothrop store, and after I was born, they came back to Strasbourg.
Okay.
That's where I lived the rest of my life, except the 3 years I was in the service.
Okay.
I was going that long.
So you were in the Army, correct?
What's that?
The United States Army?
Yeah.
During World War II? You were World War II?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you have any other family members that were in the military?
Well, my father was in World War I in the Navy,
Okay.
but I was the only one son in the family.
Okay.
So I was the only one, really.
Why did you join the military?
Why did I join?
Yeah.
I got a letter from him that said greetings. So I had to go.
So you got drafted.
I got drafted,
Right.
That's right.
Right. Do you remember the day, December 7th, 1941, Pearl Harbor? Do you remember that day? Pearl Harbor?
Pearl Harbor,
Yeah, do you remember that when it happened?
I was in Europe.
You were? Okay.
I don't remember too much.
Okay.
I remember of some of it, but I wasn't there.
Right, right. But you heard about it on the radio?
Well, I don't know how I heard it.
Okay, okay.
Don't remember that.
Right. What did you do in the Army?
Radio operator.
Radio operator, okay.
That's what I did, and also towards the end, I was assigned under Eisenhower, under SAFE.
Okay.
That's Supreme Headquarters Allied Expeditionary Force.
Okay.
And taking care of the big transmitters and the maintenance, keeping them in operation. That was, and we were sent at Versailles.
Okay.
It's where our main base was.
Okay. How long was your training to be a radio operator? How long did you go to school?
Didn't go to school. I knew some of it before I even went in.
Oh, did you? Okay.
I'm a ham radio operator also.
Okay.
Yeah, and I knew Morse code and all when I went in.
Okay, so you already knew a lot about it. They didn't have to send you to training.
I did radio repair work and everything like this even before I went in.
Gotcha.
So that's all I've done all my life was in radio work.
Okay. When did you first see combat? I'm told you were
On D-Day.
on D-Day.
Yeah, that was the beginning of it, but
Okay.
I didn't get hit or anything until I got to St. Louis.
Okay.
And that's where I got hit with mortar shrapnel.
Okay.
That was Pearl Harbor, metal
Okay.
that I got there. There's my memory going away
Yeah.
on me.
Let's talk about D-Day. You weren't the first wave, correct?
Oh,
You were-
no, thank goodness.
Yeah. So were you the second wave?
I don't know.
Okay.
I have no idea, but it was towards night.
On D-Day.
Yeah.
Okay.
But which wave, I don't know.
Okay. How did you get to the beach? Was it in a landing craft?
Oh, yeah, I had to get down the side of the ship,
Okay.
which they had the big rope. I had to get down. And we learned the water was awful rough. And we learned to wait for it to come up the closest, and then go down the rope ladder and jump into the landing craft.
Okay.
And then it went as far as it could go, and then it dropped the front down, and you had to wade through the rest of it. Oh, I don't know, waist deep or something like that.
Right.
And but by luck, we saw a gully over to our left, and we took and headed for that gully. Well, some got hit, but they saved most of us that went up that gully.
Okay.
But it was getting night towards that time.
Okay. What was it like when you got off the Higgins boat? Was there anybody shooting at you, or was the beach already secure?
There was a little, there was some, but there wasn't anything like the first wave, nothing like that.
Right. What did you see when you first got on the beach?
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
You wasn't thinking much of anything except to get the heck out of there.
Right. Were you carrying the radio? You had the radio on your back?
No, I had a pack on my back and a rifle.
Okay. Did you have to shoot your rifle?
No, I never saw it at that time.
Okay.
That came later on.
Okay.
But not often, because being a radio operator, I wasn't really assigned to real combat, you might say.
Right.
But I was in it and hit twice, so, well, more times than that, but hit twice.
Right.
Once at St. Louis, one at Luxembourg.
Okay.
Is where I got the second one. And that was from an artillery shell. Now there's an English unit radio. Say I was taking care of on a deuce and a half truck, and we had a generator, and sitting outside of Luxembourg, I could look down the city. In fact, I saw a church steeple shot off. I got a picture of my phone I could show you.
Okay.
And but I got hit there and knocked out my transmitter. Well, then I went back to, there I am, my memory going again. Where our base station was.
Okay.
And stayed there and take care of the big transmitters on the Eisenhower's communications until the war was over.
Okay. So you were wounded in Luxembourg,
Yeah,
and that was by shrapnel?
a mortar shrapnel.
A mortar
I
shrapnel.
got 3 pieces of, they sent me back to England.
Okay.
Flew me back in a C-47 and dug 3 pieces out there and knocked 2 teeth out. And I stayed there, and they told me, the doctor said, well, you're going to stay in England for the duration.
Okay.
I said, all right. But he said that we're going to send you to another unit at Bushy Park. So we have to go down to London to catch the train. Well, by luck, or this sounds not crazy, but unusual, I was going down this street in London, and I saw a sign on this building, number 10 Downing Street,
Okay.
Churchill's house. So I thought the guy there could tell me where we go. So I knocked on the door, and here come this tall guy in a suit and tie, and he didn't know. He said, I don't know. He said, you'll have to get down there and you'll find somebody, which I did. I found two GIs and a Jeep. And they told me to go down to the, I think it was Waterloo Station or something, you know, and get on a train till you see a sign and get out. Well, I did. I found it. Come up to the gate. There's a guard there. And I said, I'm assigned here. So he said, okay, set your barracks bag down there and go down to, he pointed at a building. I went down, and there's a lieutenant at a desk down there. And I told him I was assigned to this outfit. I didn't know who they were,
Right.
or the name of it or anything. He said, well, you got anything over the gate? I said, yeah, barracks base. So we'll go get it and go down to this other building. So I did. Now, how long I stayed there, I don't remember. But I was there for a while, and they started packing up. I said, where are we going? They said, we're going to France. I said, I don't want to go back there again. Back I went. That's when I got on down and hit in St. Louis with the shrapnel. I saved one guy alive. I mean, saved two. One of them was killed beside me. But I did save two guys' lives by going down. There was 8 of us to start with. Four of us were hit, 4 wasn't. The 4 that wasn't hit took off and ran, which I couldn't do. 1 was killed, 2 on the ground. I was the only one standing on my feet with blood running out of my mouth and everything, and I wasn't going to leave them. So I had to go back and get help to come and carry them out and go back through fire again. Germans knew we were there because the day before we went down to this place to set up for radio setup. And we went through the woods and came down to open air. It was open place there. And the hillside was nice and grassy. Like it went down, and there was a gully down at the bottom, evidently water running in it. Then the hill went up again. Well, one of the lieutenants had field glasses, so he looked at them. We could see the Germans. If we could see them, they could see us. We tore down the wooden gate of a farmer and propped it up against the fence. Thought that would hide it. That didn't do any good. And that was the beginning. Then we left. The next morning, it was a sort of light rain in the dark, and came down the same road to make a left turn. We got down, and then the turn is when the world shrapnel got us. But I got these 2 guys back out. That was the main thing.
So you were wounded with 2 other gentlemen, and then you went back and got one of them? You saved him?
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's one was killed, 2 were on the ground wounded, and was hit with blood running out of my mouth. But I went back to get help to come and get them back out of there. I was determined I wasn't going to leave them there.
Yeah.
The 4 that weren't hit took off and ran. They just left us. Then I was sent to England to the hospital to have the shrapnel dug out. And if you want to look close enough, I got a little bitty piece that worked its way out right here. You see that little
Yes.
black dot? Well, people tells me, said, well, you can have that taken out. I said, no, that's a souvenir.
Yes.
I'm going to keep that. So they got just a little speck.
Yeah.
But the others were fairly good size that ended up, and my face then was numb for about 6 months, I reckon. I couldn't eat from that side or anything. And I always thought I should get a medal for that, for saving lives and doing that.
You absolutely should have.
But I never got it, and the reason for it, to get a medal, somebody has to turn you in. The ones that I were with was evidently from another outfit. I didn't know any of them. They didn't know me. So nobody turned me in. I didn't get anything. But I surely got at least some kind of a medal.
At least a Silver Star.
Yeah, for that.
At least.
And I'd still like to, it's too late, I guess, to try to get anything. I wouldn't know who to go by to get it. But when I got them back, they were still alive. The one on the ground was full of shrapnel. The other one, I heard, now I don't know this for a fact, had one eye knocked out and part of his face.
Okay.
Now how he turned out, I don't know, because they flew us back to.
Right.
They were on the same plane then.
Did you save two guys, two
Yeah.
soldiers?
Yeah.
You carried 2 people out.
Yeah.
So you went and got one, and then came back and got the other.
No, I had 4 guys come in, and we took the 2 out at the same time.
Okay, and you helped carry one.
No, I didn't care. The 2 guys, 4 guys. It was 4 guys.
Okay.
2 guys with a litter like carrying. Each one had 4. So 2 guys carried one of them. The other 2 carried the other.
Okay.
Well, I was just there with my rifle. I still had my rifle with me. When I came back and went up. And that's when they started searching me. I had them take all my clothes off to see if there's any more shrapnel on me. But all I got was in my head up here.
Okay. So they carried them out, and you had the rifle for security.
Oh, yeah. And coming down were between 2 hedgerows. And I was walking, bent over like this. They said, "Are you hit bad?" Oh, like that. I said, "No, I'm staying down by these hedgerows. I'm staying out of sight if I could."
Right.
I said, "You better do it too."
Right. And where was that? So the first time was in Luxembourg. What was the second time? The second time you were
The
wounded?
first time was St. Lo.
Oh, St. Lo.
Luxembourg was the second one.
Okay. What happened to you after you were wounded the second time? Did you go back to England?
Oh no, there wasn't no answer. It was, they took care of it right there.
Okay.
It didn't. But the English unit was right close by a radio unit for England.
Okay.
He got a direct hit and killed him in this right then.
Okay.
But and knocked my equipment out. It was out, so I back to trying to think of it. Where Louis XIV's palace is.
Okay.
I was in there too. I got into that.
Is that your phone?
No man, nothing. Scam, probably.
Probably.
Oh, no, who was that? I'm trying to think of the name of the city there, well known, about 8 miles out of Paris. We went back and forth because that was good duty.
Was it Versailles? Versailles?
Versailles is where I was stationed.
Okay.
And I was in there also.
Okay.
Yeah, Versailles.
Did you meet Eisenhower?
Oh, yeah, I met him.
Really?
But not only a couple of times. And didn't talk too much to him or anything, but I got to a little bit. Not
a lot.
Not a lot, no.
Can you tell me, if you remember, what was the duties of a radio operator? What were you supposed to do?
Oh, well, now I had two things, radio operator and radio maintenance.
Okay.
As operator, you would be talking to other stations with the Morse code. Had to use the Morse code all the time. And that's where we give information from one place to another. After I came back from Luxembourg, they put me back on transmitters, the big transmitters, to keep them in operation.
Okay.
We had the whole unit on a deuce-and-a-half truck with a generator to keep it in operation.
Yeah.
Well, then it got hit, and back out from there I went back to Versailles. And I stayed there then till the duration of the war and came back.
Came back to the United States?
Yeah.
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 Okay.
And we traveled by ship. But you didn't have planes that time.
Right.
We traveled, and then going over, we went up through the North Atlantic. We came, got into a storm, and it was bad. And being young, 21, 22, it didn't bother me. I went back to the stern of the ship and looked down there, and the two props were coming all the way out of the water. I could see them come out of the water. Well, it wasn't long till they came and run us down below and put us down. The guys were getting sick. Oh, they were getting sick. But there's a trick to this thing. If you get on a ship, which I don't think they use them much anymore, but if you get on a ship and you get in a bad storm like that, go to the middle of it. And the reason, the ends are going up and down. The middle is staying about the same place. Right. Get in the middle.
Get in the middle. It's good advice.
And that's what I did.
That's what you did. So that was the trip to Europe, correct? That was your way over?
Oh, yeah, so on the way. It took us 16 days, 14 days to get there, and 2 days on the ship before we got off at I know the name of the place where we landed. What's the name? The name of Liver or something like that.
Okay. Liverpool?
Huh?
Liverpool?
Liverpool.
Okay.
That's where we stayed on the ship 2 days before we got into Liverpool.
Okay.
And then they put us in people's houses. They must run them out and put us in there and stayed there for a while. And then from there, we headed down to London. But it took us a total of 16 days.
Okay.
We had one submarine attack on us, but it was pretty far out from the ship I was on. We was on quite a few ships in that one.
Right. How long was the training before you landed on Normandy?
Well, about half, I'd say half and half. I spent 18 months overseas, so it'd be about that much, about the same thing in the States.
Okay.
And I was been all the way from down south, and there's my memory going again of the different places I've been.
Okay.
All the way from down south up into the state next is right next to the Mississippi River.
Okay, Missouri.
And I can't think of the name of it. I stayed there, and that was a good one. We stayed in the wintertime, and they took and sent us from there up into what's the name of the state next to Canada?
Minnesota?
Starts with an M.
Michigan?
Michigan.
Yep.
To live for 1 month in the open. No shelter, no temperature, heat or anything. We had to live. The only thing I had was a tent with where we get the food. They made it. Then we go out and sit on a log, maybe with snow on it. We had to sleep out in the snow. They called it winter training.
Okay.
And I got all my fingers frostbitten, frozen up there. And that was the most miserable that I've ever been in my life.
Right.
I wish I could think of the name of the places I've been. One's out from Washington, between Washington and Baltimore.
Okay.
And one's down south in Alabama. One's up Wisconsin. I was up there. And another in Virginia, but I can't remember names.
Okay.
They'll come to me after a while.
Later today. What? How long was your training when you were in England before you went to Normandy? How long was that training?
In England?
When you were in England, did you train to go to Normandy?
No, we didn't have any training then.
Okay.
Heck, we got there and it wasn't long till we was gone. Because, let's see, that was in, I got married in April. In May, I was in England.
Okay. So pretty quick.
And in June, I was in France.
Pretty quick.
So we didn't have much training along like that.
Yeah.
Is this from one well, I'm forgetting what I want to say again. Your states, January, February, March, or states,
Okay.
from one to the other. This is one state to the next state, the next state,
Okay.
and now. But it was in, May I was in England. And June, of course, the 6th of June, I won't forget that, I was in France. And then it was, let's see, I forget, July, I think, was when I got the first Purple Heart in France. But I'm forgetting so much of this.
Yeah. What do you remember most about D-Day?
You're not thinking too much about it. As I remember being on the ship and always getting on there, and the rope ladder coming down the side. I remember that very well. And waiting for the wave to come up the highest so we have lift to draw into the landing craft. And we were piled up in there until we got to as far as they could go, and then to drop the front down. And I had to go, all of us, out into the water. Well, some of them got hit, but we noticed this gully to the left of us. And we took as many of us, we took off and was headed for that there. Well, they still got some of it. But we got through there and saved most of it. Now, some of them that was open morgue, most of them got killed.
Right.
Or a good portion. I don't know the exact thing. I've heard 1 out of every 3. I've heard that. But got up there and then we stayed, and then we started down through France on down to St. Louis. Now, that's another thing. I don't remember going from the beach to St. Louis at all. I don't remember any of it.
Right.
Why, I don't know, but I don't.
Yeah.
But I ended up there. Oh, yeah, one time they dropped a plane came over and dropped a 500, I think they said a 500-pound bomb. It was about as far as from here out to the main road from us. A dud.
Wow.
Saved us.
Right.
And it was one of our own planes that did it. It wasn't a German plane.
Right. So you're fortunate.
I want to show you a picture if I can
Okay, absolutely.
if I can find it. It might take a little while. I'm a little shaky too. This is sort of comical in a way, but as soon as I get to it, I've got about 1,000 pictures in this thing. Oh, yeah, I got something else I want to show you. Oh, well, while we're going to buy it, that's when I went in.
That's you, huh? Could you hold that up to the camera? Like right here?
Huh?
Let me hold that up to the camera.
That's when I went in.
Wow. Long time ago.
Yeah. Here's something I want to show you. I got a letter from the French embassy about 4 years ago.
Okay.
And they wanted me to fill this out. So I did and sent it back. About a year later, I got another letter to come to the embassy. They wanted me to come down there. So I went to the embassy, went in. They were all fixed up. There's about 500 people in there. Most of them were soldiers or servicemen.
Right.
I had generals and all this stuff in there, and 3 speakers on one place. 4 of us from this country up on the stage. So we went up on the stage and sat there. I got the picture of that. And what it was, they came and gave us the medal, the highest medal that you can get in France of what we did in France. And here did you take a picture there?
We can hold it up to the
That's
camera.
the highest medal.
Wow.
That's the same as the highest in this country.
Right.
And oh, yeah. I wanted you to stay here. This goes along with it. I met this man to see if you know who it is. I'm sure you will. There's quite a few pictures of it.
That's Bob Dole.
Bob Dole, I met him. He was there on the stage too.
Okay. Very
So,
neat.
but there's 4 of us got this medal.
Wow, that is very neat.
Yeah, there's a.
Let me ask you about your homecoming when you came home. What do you remember about that?
Well, I came home board ship, and came in, got into Washington, and caught a bus. From there, back to Strasbourg, and that was about it.
That was it, huh?
Yeah, it's
Uneventful.
Huh?
Uneventful. Nothing happened. Just came home and went back to work.
Oh, yeah. Well, now after that, I went back to some working on radios and stuff.
Right.
And for a while, then I got another call from the government to come to work with them.
Okay.
And from there on, I can't tell you. I was top secret.
Really?
I don't say any more about that.
Okay. Which it was, you work for the government. Okay.
I will tell you one thing about it, which is all right. Mount Weather. Ever heard of it?
I have.
That's it.
Gotcha. Okay. Did you ever keep in touch with anybody that you were in the service with?
Never knew anybody or got in service with anybody that I know. Not one person.
Okay.
I'm going to go a little further here. I'm trying to. Why can't I get that thing working back? You know anything about them?
I do.
Get me back on that thing to my pictures there. That thing won't move on me.
There you go.
Yeah, here we are. This is sort of a comical thing here, but it's something that, here I found it. Oh, heck. Should have kept it while I had it. I'd like for you. Now I lost it entirely. Of course, I don't know if you'd be interested in this part, but where in the... It keeps bouncing back on me. Why does it do that?
What are you trying to get?
What it is a German reconnaissance plane at St. Lo.
Okay.
He would fly across every evening about 5 o'clock, hear this little plane, single engine plane would come by, taking pictures, I guess, and everything, till it got to the point of where we would wait for him to come. Nobody shot at him or anything. We would wave to him, and he would, got to the point he would dip his wings. He'd come over next day and wave. He'd dip his wings. That was this sort of a comical thing.
Every day at 5, huh?
But almost every day at almost around 5 o'clock. And we named him Bed Check Charlie.
Bed Check Charlie.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we named him that. I got the pictures of him here somewhere. I had it, and it bounced off. There we go. Now, if you can make it bigger and look in there, and you can see him.
You're right. That's pretty neat. Let me ask you just a couple more questions, okay? Well, how do you think that your service during World War II, how has that affected your life?
Well, that's a good question. I would say it made it better. It made it better for what I would get from being in there, wounded and all, sort of, you might call it a pension or something, money from it every month, and also that there was got me into the government, which was a good deal.
Yeah.
So I'd say that would be the main part of what it did for me.
Okay.
Is what, and I stayed in there, and I also then I'm a member, life member of a fire company in Strasbourg, and I did the radio work for their trucks and all like that. And did like that, which helped out. I didn't charge them nothing.
Yeah.
And, but then I just didn't do anything, but
yeah.
I was in electronics from the time I got into radio. I was in school and high school.
Okay.
And I started learning about radio at that point.
Okay.
That's what I've done all my life.
Yeah.
I still remember the Morse code. I can still use it,
Good.
but slow.
Yeah.
Slowed down now.
The last question: If you could tell somebody who might watch this interview in 100 years, if you could send them a message, what would you tell them?
A message?
Yeah, somebody who might watch this in 100 years, might watch your interview. What would you tell them?
I don't know if I'd tell. Who would I talk to in Washington? I wouldn't talk to.
Anybody who might watch this.
I have no idea.
No idea? Okay. Well, you have a pretty good story, sir, and I appreciate you sitting down and talking to us.
Well,
taking time out of your day.
I don't know if that's what you wanted or not.
Well, I wanted to hear your story, and you told us your story.
Yeah, well, if we went through it, I could go the rest of the day with the parts of things that happened in between this.
Right.
I wish I could remember some of the names of the places I was.
Right.
But I can't remember.
That's okay. Well, again, I thank you for sitting down and talking to us, sir, and thank you most importantly for your service.
Yeah.